doing? You're most welcome to this live session where we're going to continue with the review of this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? And today we're going to be looking at chapter 9, which is titled Persistence, the Sustained Efforts Necessary to Induce Faith. And this is the 8th step to riches. What is persistence? Persistence is your staying power, your ability to stay put there, your ability to not give up on that which you believe in. Persistence is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire into its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. How strong is your willpower? Willpower and desire. Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. Go and check out anybody who has a strong willpower, who has got desire. They cannot be defeated. Such people accumulate great fortune. Yes, and sometimes they are misunderstood because people see them as being cold-blooded or ruthless. Actually, that is not who they are. They're just trying to stand by that which they believe in. They're just trying not to change their minds, not to be unstable. So when people find them to be unflinching, unyielding, they feel that, oh, this person is cold-blooded or ruthless. But actually, if you are a persistent person, people will perceive you that way. A very good example of a persistent person here is Henry Ford. We have read about him so many times in this book, how a lot of people thought that he was ruthless, he was cold-blooded, he was just unyielding. And today, we all see the good works of Henry Ford. We read about him, we learned about him. Even when people thought that he had to change the car that they regarded to be one of the ugliest cars in the world, I think the T model, of the Ford vehicles. He did not, and he made great fortune out of that. Another person that showed persistence was Andrew Carnegie. Another person is Thomas A. Edison. Another person is, Rockefeller. There are so many like that. We've read about some of them already in this book. If you want to be a persistent person, you have to study the 13 principles discussed in this book. We are now on the 8th one, as in the 8 steps to riches. You really, really have to hold on to them, right? And the author here says he's not so surprised that there are not too many successful people in the world. And that is because a lot of people give up too easily. They say bye-bye to that dream just too soon because they come across challenges. They have no staying power. If you are reading this book with the intention of applying the knowledge it conveys, the first step of your persistence will come when you follow the 6 steps described in chapter 2. In chapter 2, we're told to write, we're given 6 instructions, and I'm going to summarize them, to write those things that you really want out of life. And when it comes to riches, how much do you want to accumulate? When? Put a timeline to it. How do you want to get this money, right? And then it should be the first thing. You write it out somewhere, and it should be the first thing you read out loud when you wake up in the morning, and the last thing you read to yourself with so much conviction before you go to bed at night. How many people have been carrying out these instructions? That is one way to actually show that you are persistent. Sorry, I need to adjust my camera. What's going on? Sorry about that. It says my camera is not well positioned. All right. Okay. So, yeah. So at this point, the author is checking up on you because lack of persistence is one of the major causes of failure. The author has said that he has had to interview over 500 men and women in America to understand the reason why some of them failed and why some of them succeeded. And he observed that the lack of persistence is actually one of the major causes of failure for a lot of people. In fact, it is one of the top 30 causes of failure. So the starting point of all desires, of all achievements rather, is desire. You must have a desire. Have this constantly in mind. What do you want out of life? If you are very clear about it, then it is not going to be so hard, to be persistent. Yes, I had to come online today because, last night the internet misbehaved. Please, can you give me feedback if you can see me clearly, if my camera is well positioned, because I'm saying that my camera is not well positioned here. Yes, thank you for that. All right, so fortunes gravitate to people whose minds have been prepared to attract them. Just as surely as water gravitates to the ocean, in this book, you're going to find all the stimuli, all the motivation that you need to start being persistent. Okay, my camera is not well positioned. Huh? What's going on? I don't know. Let me just continue. After this session, I'll check it out then. If it's still not well positioned, then maybe I'll... what should I do? Let me see. Okay, let me just carry on. I don't know what to do right now. I'm confused. Should I stop it? Start all over? Okay, all right. I'll just continue. Okay, so yes, I really want to read this part that says occasional efforts to apply the rules will be of no value to you. You can't say you're going to do it today and then the next 3 months you don't do anything. The truth is that short-term consistency will always beat long-term intensity. It is always better to do something for 5 minutes every day and to get better at it as time goes on than to do something once in 6 months and then the next 3 months you don't even attend to it, only for you to come back 1 year later and then you want to put all your energy, you want to, perform magic and all of that. It is not going to work. So be consistent at it. You cannot be an occasional person when it comes to success. You have to form a deliberate habit. Poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it, just as success is attracted to anybody whose mind is prepared for success. And that is the truth. The mind cannot be blank. The mind has to always attract something. And whatever your mind attracts will depend on you. What do you position your mind to attract? This will depend on what you feed your mind with. The kind of people that you listen to, what you watch, what you do every now and then. The suggestions that you get from everybody, what you allow into your subconscious mind. That is what will determine what your life ultimately is going to attract. Poverty consciousness will voluntarily seize the mind that is not occupied with money consciousness. Right. With persistence, you will be defeated. But with persistence, you are going to win any day, anytime. With persistence comes success. I mean, starting a business, even though it is not yielding anything yet, but because you believe so much in it, you are convinced. You do it with all of your mind, all of your heart, all of your being. We're going to read the story of a guy here. The guy who founded Starbucks. Even though he lost to the tune of millions of dollars, I think $1 million, yeah? He stayed put. He did not give up. And today, Starbucks coffee is everywhere. There's no country that I've been to that I did not find Starbucks, yes. We have also read of FedEx. Mr. Smith, we all know FedEx Korea today. He ran at a loss in his business, and this is Korea business, the same FedEx, but he did not give up. So what is your staying power? It's going to determine the level of your success, right? There is no substitute for persistence. It cannot be supplanted by any other quality. It is either you're persistent or you're not. You cannot even stay in the middle. Staying in the middle is not going to get anybody anywhere, right? It is either you are all in for it or you are totally out. Those who can take it are bountifully rewarded. Those who can stay, those who can persevere, life rewards them. Life does not reward those who give up. And this is the way I think about it. And this makes me encourage people not to give up, because I think of it this way, that imagine that you know that you're going to become very wealthy. All your dreams are going to come true. You become stupendously rich at the age of 45. If you have that information, right? Are you going to give up? No, you will never give up, because you know that the first few decades of your life, things may be tough. Things may not move the way you like, but you are sure that once you are 45 years, come on, forget it. You start enjoying all your dreams to come true. You be living your dream life. If you knew that, you wouldn't give up, right? And this is why we should still not give up, even though we don't know. Imagine that you're destined to be that rich at 45, and then you don't know, but you give up at 44 years old. How would you feel if you now discovered later, maybe in heaven, that if you had waited one more year, if you had put in more effort, you just had 1 year to go, just 1 year, and you gave up, and all of your effort, your hard work, your persistence, before that 45 years, just a year before 45, went into a waste, right? But because we don't know the time, we don't know that particular work, that particular effort that is going to bring us to our desired results. That is why we shouldn't give up. But one thing that we know is that life rewards persistence. Life rewards those who do not give up. Life rewards those who know what they want out of life. Yeah. Okay. Yes, let's talk about Bruce Lee. He's a very good example of somebody that do not give up. Bruce Lee, we all know him. Yeah. I want to assume that many of us know Bruce Lee, the guy who was very, very popular for Kung Fu in movies. It was Chinese, but then he relocated to America at a very young age. He was trained in martial arts, so he started teaching martial arts. And then, but he knew that his main goal was to become an actor, but he wouldn't get any major acting role. But he would take on, minor roles, but he did not lose sight of what he wanted. So a time came that he got a very good opportunity to audition for a major role, a Kung Fu role in a movie. And just when he thought that the audition went well, everything was perfect, and he was getting the role was actually given to somebody, a guy named David Carradine. And it really pained him. He wanted to give up that. No, he wasn't going to do it anymore. So his fans heard of that, and they started sending him goodwill messages, words of encouragement that he should please not give up, that they were rooting for him. He didn't even know that he had already gathered so many fans like that. That encouraged him, and he did not give up. So we all know Bruce Lee today because he did not give up, because he eventually got major roles. Yes. But Bruce Lee eventually died at the age of 32. He died of cerebral hemorrhage. Very, very painful, But his name has not been forgotten because he was persistent. He did not give up. And from his story, we can see that discouragement may come. The fact that you have to be persistent does not mean that there will not be challenges. Does not mean that there wouldn't be days that you feel like giving. There wouldn't be days that you will not feel like giving up. There will be days like that. But if you know what you want, you will go for it. Persistence is a state of mind. So it can be cultivated. Even if you lack it at this time, it is something that you can cultivate. Like all states of mind, persistence is based upon definite causes. And number one is definiteness of purpose. You must know what you want. If you don't know what you want, everything is going to look like it. So know what you want and stick to it. Number two, desire. What do you actually desire? Number three, self-reliance. Believe in your own ability. Believe that you can do it. Number four, definiteness of plans. What plans do you have to achieve your goal, to bring your desire into reality? Number 5, accurate knowledge. You cannot be a novice to that which you want in life. You must have knowledge about it, maybe based on your observation, based on your experience, based on your education. Number 5 is cooperation. For anybody to attain success in life, they must get the cooperation of other people, people that will be cheering them on, people that will be supporting them. And one way to do this is to have a mastermind group. There must be people that are rooting for you. Then number 7 is willpower. This is the habit of concentrating your thoughts, your efforts on one thing, and you stay there. Number 8 is habits. What do you do every day? What do you do often? It is going to determine to a very, very large extent if you'll be successful, if you're going to be persistent, if you are somebody that is always changing your mind. You have no habits, no routine that you follow, nothing. You just do things casually, you just do things randomly. It will be very, very tough. Before leaving the subject of persistence, take an inventory of yourself and determine in what particular, if any, you are lacking in this essential quality. You know yourself. So be courageous enough to tell yourself the truth. What are some of the symptoms of persistence? Number 1, failure to recognize and clearly define exactly what you want. Number 2, procrastination. Number 3, lack of interest. You don't just have an interest to acquire any knowledge. Number 4, indecision. You can't make up your mind. Number 5, the habit of relying upon alibis instead of creating definite plans. You just want an easy way out. Number 6, self-satisfaction. Self-satisfaction will lead to mediocrity, right? Number 7, indifference. What do you want? I don't know. You're always sitting on the fence. You are neutral. Number 8, the habit of blaming others for your mistakes. Anything that is not going well. Oh, it's the government. Oh, if not for my uncle. If not that my dad was late. Oh, if this. Number 9, weakness of desire due to neglect in the choice of motives. Number 10, willingness, even eagerness to quit at the first sign of defeat. Number 11, lack of organized plans. Number 12, the habit of neglecting to move on ideas. Number 13, wishing instead of willing and instead of doing. Number 14, the habit of compromising with poverty instead of aiming at riches. Because they are getting a few, dollars right now. You feel like, it's okay. After all, there are people that are not getting as much as this. Instead of you aiming for something higher. Number 15, searching for all shortcuts to riches. Number 16, fear of criticism. What will people say? What if they don't accept it? Hey, nobody has ever done this. Are you sure people are not going to backlash me? And things like that. Examine all of these symptoms and free yourself from them because they will get you nowhere. Most ideas are stillborn and need the breath of life injected into them through definite plans of immediate action. I learned something recently and I immediately took action about it. I took a step before weariness will set in. That is how ideas die. If you have a fantastic idea, you don't move immediately. You have a business idea and you are very sure about it, but you want to overthink it. You want to overanalyze and overanalyze. You want to make sure that you do research for 2 years before you move and things like that. This is not to discredit the importance of planning, but then overthinking will always, kill dreams. Over analysis will always lead to paralysis, like they say, right? Once you're sure, you can set out, do it bit by bit. Millions of people neglect to acquire related education after having left school because of the fear of criticism. So many people fail to do that business that is so much believing because of the fear of criticism. How will people feel that I am now selling this thing? How will they feel? What will they say? Many people believe that material success is the result of favorable breaks. There are actually so many things we learn out of life if we are persistent. Not only material things, not only riches. Persistence builds character. It builds toughness. If you are persistent about something and you're able to see it through, you record a groundbreaking success, then I tell you, you will see it as nothing. You'll be able to apply that same knowledge, that same character to other aspects, Yes, there's actually this story here of this guy, the guy that founded Domino Pizza. If you have ever eaten Domino Pizza before, even if you have not, I'm sure you might have heard about it, right? Maybe you just don't like pizza. But Domino Pizza is one of the most popular pizza outlets in the world. Not only in America, not only in Africa, in the world, right? And this guy started very, very small. He started as a salesperson. Is it him? No, no, no. That's Starbucks, right? That's Starbucks. Yes, this guy, Tom Monaghan, he actually started Domino Pizza by himself. But because he wouldn't give up, it grew so much. And then he eventually sold it to some persons who mishandled the business and drove it to failure. So he took his business back. It was difficult, it was tough because the people that took it over had actually done a lot of harm to it. And more like the business was in ruins already. He took it back with persistence. It took a lot of effort to grow back this business that was already gone. This is a testament to how persistence can revive anything dead. I'm telling you. He took it back, continued to work at it. He made some losses and all of that. But today, Domino's Pizza has expanded to 6,000 stores across the world, of which 1,100 are in countries outside of the United States of America. So how do you develop persistence? There are 4 simple steps to the habit of persistence. Number 1, a definite purpose backed up by a burning desire for its fulfillment. You must know what you want. You must. It must be clear. There must be no mistake. Such that if anybody dangles something that looks like it before you, you will know that it looks like it, but this is not what I want. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. I am doing this, it is continuous. Number 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, because these influences will even come from the people that you love. Number 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with, your plan and your purpose. Right. Very important. These 4 steps are essential for success in all walks of life. The entire purpose of the 13 principles of this philosophy is to enable you to take these 4 steps as a matter of habit. They are the steps by which you may control your economic destiny. These 4 steps are the steps that lead to freedom and independence of thoughts. They are the steps that lead to riches in small or great quantities. They are the steps that lead the way to power, fame, and worldly recognition. They are the steps that guarantee favorable breaks. They are the steps that convert dreams into physical realities. They are the steps that lead also to the mastery of fear, discouragement, and indifference. As one makes an impartial study of successful people, one is drawn to the inevitable conclusion that persistence, concentration of effort, and definiteness of purpose are the major sources of their achievements. And here we see the story of the Starbucks man named Howard Schultz. Yeah, he started as a salesperson, but he grew Starbucks. He later acquired Starbucks and grew it into the global brand that we all know today. He started very small by selling, for a small coffee shop. But then he would go to Italy to go and shop for a raw coffee that they were going to brew. And in Italy, he discovered that taking coffee was a very, very popular culture. People would gather at a coffee shop in the morning in Italy to have a cup of coffee. And when they closed, they would have coffee. So he went back to America to replicate that, even though he wasn't sure, would people accept this? But then he started this. He wasn't discouraged. He wasn't too concerned about what people will say. He envisaged it that, okay, in America, they could also have that kind of culture, that instead of people, lovers, even taking themselves to cinemas or things like that on a date to other places, they can actually go on a date to a coffee shop, say lovely things to each other while having a cup of coffee, rather. Somebody can propose to the love of his life over a cup of coffee and things like that. And that was exactly what he did. And today, even if you don't know Starbucks coffee, I can tell you for a fact that it is a global brand. So you have to be persistent. I hope you have learned something from this video. I really apologize for the way this camera is displaying right now. This live stream also have been done since last night, but because it just wouldn't come on, right? We had to hold it on another platform, and now it is not even displaying very well. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you so much, Mr. Ikechukwu, for all of your comments and engagements. God bless you. We're going to meet tonight again as we review chapter 10. Let me give you a clue to it. It is titled Power of the Mastermind, the Driving Force. And this is the 9th step to riches. Thank you. Don't forget to like this live stream if you haven't liked it. Drop all of your comments. Please subscribe to this channel if you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'm going to see you tonight. Until then, be intentional. Bye.